Good morning. I am glad you're here. Welcome to the Monday Message. Each week, we take a few minutes to reflect on leadership, character, and the choices that shape who we become as members of the public safety community, parents, spouses, teammates, coworkers, and neighbors. These are not lectures or perfect answers. They are simply observations from a career in public service and lessons I have learned along the way, with the hope that they challenge all of us to think a little differently as we begin a new week. If this is your first time listening, I'm Dan Dillon. I've spent more than 3 decades in public service, and every Monday I share a few thoughts on leadership, character, and living a life of purpose. So pour yourself a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's get started. Today, I want to talk about legacy, but maybe not the kind of legacy you were thinking about. This past month, our family welcomed a new little boy into the world, my second grandchild. I now have a granddaughter and a grandson. Holding a newborn has a way of changing your perspective on many things. Everything slows down for a moment. The things that seemed important a few hours earlier suddenly do not seem nearly as significant. As I sat there holding him, I realized something. He did not know anything about me. He did not know what I do for a living. He did not know my accomplishments. He did not know my mistakes. He did not know how many years I have spent serving others. He simply trusted the person holding him. And in that moment, I realized he is going to inherit a world people like me and people like you are helping to build. Not someday, but right now. That thought has stayed with me all week. When most people hear the word legacy, they think about the end of a career, retirement, awards, a speech, maybe even what people say about them after they're gone. I have come to believe legacy is something entirely different. Legacy is not built at the end. It is built every single day. It is built in the ordinary conversations, the ordinary decisions, the ordinary moments that most people will never remember, except the person whose life they changed. The older I get, the more I realize the greatest things we leave behind are rarely things at all. They are people we have encouraged, people we believe in, people we took time to teach, people who became better because we chose to invest in them. Most of us will never know the full impact we have on another person's life. A kind word at the right moment, a little extra patience, a lesson that seemed ordinary to us became life-changing for someone else. The seeds we plant today often grow into someone else's season. That is what makes legacy so remarkable. We usually do not get to see all of it. In the fire service, every one of us learned from someone who came before us. Someone taught us our craft, someone showed us how to serve, someone demonstrated what professionalism looked like, someone took the time to correct us instead of criticize us, and someone believed in us before we fully believed in ourselves. Now it becomes our responsibility to do the same for someone else. The truth is, that principle is not unique to the fire service. Parents do it, teachers do it, coaches do it. Every one of us is influencing someone, whether we realize it or not. The question is never whether we are leaving an example. The question is is it the example we intend to leave? Our children do not need perfect parents. Our grandchildren do not need perfect grandparents. The people we lead do not need perfect leaders. They need examples. They are watching how we treat people. They are watching how we respond when life becomes difficult. They are watching whether our words match our actions. I have learned that people pay far less attention to what we tell them to do than they do to what they consistently see us doing. More is caught than taught. People may forget what we say. They rarely forget how we make them feel. Years from now, they will probably not remember every conversation, but they will remember whether it felt respected, whether they felt valued, whether someone believed they were capable of more. Sometimes that's enough to change the direction of a life. One of the principles I've always appreciated is leaving things better than we found them. We take pride in leaving equipment ready for the next crew, leaving a station cleaner than we found it, leaving a project in better shape than we started. Those habits reflect something much deeper. They demonstrate respect for the people coming behind us, respect for the organization, respect for the work itself. Maybe that principle was never just about buildings or equipment. Maybe it was always about people. Leave your family better, leave your workplace better, leave your community better. Leave every person you encounter with a little more hope, a little more confidence, a little more encouragement, simply because they cross paths with you. None of us can change the entire world, but every one of us can improve the small corner we are responsible for. That is how the world changes, one person, one conversation, one decision at a time. One day, my grandson will not remember me holding him for the first days on this earth. He will not remember the broom, the conversations, or the excitement our family felt. But he will experience the ripple effects of the choices we make today. So will my granddaughter. So will the people I may never meet. The same is true for every one of us. Someone is inheriting the life we are helping to build right now. We inherited opportunities because someone before us sacrificed. Someone before us taught. Someone before us invested. Now it's our turn. That is what legacy really is. Not what people say about us after we're gone, but what continues because we were here. So maybe the question this week is not, what legacy will I leave? Maybe the better question is, who is better because of the way I showed up today? Who feels more encouraged? Who feels more confident? Who has more hope because of every conversation, every lesson, every act of kindness, every decision rooted in integrity moves the line forward? And maybe that is all any of us are really called to do. Take the line we inherited, move it a little farther, and leave it for the next person to continue. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. If this message challenged you to think a little differently, then our time together was well spent. If it resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who could use a little encouragement this week. Until next Monday, choose the harder right over the easier wrong. Take care of one another. Stay curious. Lead with purpose and never stop growing. I will see you next Monday.